Back in April, after months of lockdown, in the UK, shops finally reopened, and we took that opportunity on those first days to jump out and see what retro game hunting we could achieve, see what the stores had, see what had been left there gathering dust waiting for us to pick up. So me and the kids did exactly that. We went out, we decided to go to CEX and a couple of other stores and see what we could find. My son had his eye on a few things and I was just out to see whatever I could come across. This is that episode, these are those pickups. Kick off your shoes and relax your socks for some good old retro game hunting. We got straight into CEX and I went straight over to the PS3 section, and having a little bit of a look, there was plenty of options, but the first game that caught my eye was BioShock. Now I've got the other two in the series, but I don't have this in the collection, and at this price it had to be added. Carrying on looking at the PS3, there were some other games as well that I've had my eye on for a while. The first one is Saboteur. I've seen this so many times, I like the look of this, but something about this game is just not calling to me in the way that I want it to. And once again, I decided to not pull the trigger on this one. I thought £4 was a little bit too much to take a chance. The next game that I saw was another golf game. You know me, I love golf games, and I was so tempted to pick this up, but I'm trying to be so careful because at this point I'm getting so many Vita games, I'm only getting what I definitely know I want, so I put Masters back, even though it was £2. As I kept on looking a little bit further, one game did catch my eye, and that was Wet. Now, I think I've seen this before on the shelves, but I've never really picked it up and had a look at it. Had a look at it, it's an 18. It looks unique. I like the look of the style. £2.50. Giving it a go. There's Neo looking patient. I know he's dying to check out those Disney Infinity characters, so we're going to try and be a bit quick here. Next up is another game that I absolutely love. I already own this, but I've wanted it on the PS3 for a long time. Need for Speed The Run. You guys have to check this game out if you haven't. And for £3, I was definitely getting this. Next up, I was looking at the PSP games. You know me, I love handheld gaming. I'm focusing on Vita collecting right now, but I still love the PSP. And the Simpsons game is one I've got on the PS2, but I've wanted to get it on the PSP for ages. £6 feels a bit pricey. I kept this to the side, but ultimately I didn't get it. And maybe one day I'll pull the trigger on this, but like I said, I'm being careful with my collecting right now because I'm putting so much money into the Vita. So we didn't actually get that. Next one, another golf game. I can't not look at golf games, and you know, 50p. I do have a Tiger Woods game on the PSP. You saw there's Tiger Woods 06 up there as well, and that was Tiger Woods 07 that I picked up. 50p, I probably should have got this, but I decided against it. I don't really need it, and every penny counts when you're trying to save for the Vita collection. Mega Drive collection as well there. That one I was really tempted to pick this one up, but again at £8 I feel like I could get this cheaper, and I feel like those are games that I could comfortably enjoy on my retro gaming handheld like the RG351. So we moved on over to the 3DS games now, looking at some more handheld games, and what do I see again? Need for Speed The Run. I didn't realise this was on the 3DS. £5, maybe a bit pricey, but I just love this game so much I had to get it. As we kept on searching, plenty of Pokemon games there, ones I could add into the Pokemon collection, but I've got most of them. But I did come across Resident Evil 3D Mercenaries, I think this one was. And this is a game I didn't know much about. I love Resident Evil though, and £4 I was willing to take a chance on this one. I am trying to build up the 3DS collection a little bit as I'm going, not as much as the Vita, but anytime I see something good I'm going to give it a go, or something I'm interested in. What else did we spot? Splinter Cell. You know me, I love stealth games. £3. I have a feeling this could be a bit crap, but I'm going to give it a go for £3. Adding that to the collection. As we continued looking, we moved over to the DS games, and I spotted a Professor Layton game. I love these games. Again, £6, maybe a little bit pricey. I could probably find this a bit cheaper, but I love these games so much. I also saw this other Layton game as well. Now, as you can see, it's got the cover reprinted triangle on the side there, and I don't really want any reprinted covers, so I left this one, but really happy to add that Professor Layton game into the collection as well. Carrying on with Nintendo, we turned around and we looked at the Wii games. I love collecting games for the Wii, and I've got a lot of the ones that I do want, but one I didn't have is Metroid Other M, and this is one I have been wanting to get into the collection for a while, and for £3, I'm sure that's a lot cheaper than I've seen it before. We started looking as well at the retro games behind the glass. Not many to see there, but they did have a good selection of Disney Infinity characters, which I know Neo was dying to look at. And he did spot one in there that he did pick up and he didn't have in the collection, so we got that one for him. But other than that, there wasn't much behind the glass for me to be interested by, and the prices here tend to be not that great in my experience. But what Neo did see and what we did get is Ultimate Spider-Man, which he's been after for ages. There's two of them as well. Nice one. Let's pick the best one, eh?
Check the disc.
The discs aren't in these. You got to go to the front and get them off them. I think that one's the nicest one. What do you think, dude? Yeah? £5 for that. You happy?
Yeah.
Happy to get that? Let's do it. Dude, some good pickups. Yeah. Yeah.
And my daddy got
loads. Let's go.
20 or 30.
Some great hunting at CEX, and we decided to move on over to Games and More, a local Wigan retro game store. But unfortunately, the store was not open. I like to support this guy, he's really great. So when this opens, I'll definitely be going back there. But what we decided to do instead was to head on over to a Cash Converters and see what they had. And they had loads of stuff. I was really pleased with this, especially the retro game selection. As you can see in here behind the glass, quite a few options. There were a few games that I did spot in here and did pick up, including a couple of Mega Drive games and a couple of Dreamcast games. So I was really happy that we decided to come here because I wasn't going to go. Usually this place doesn't have that many great options, but I was really pleased with this. Moving around the side, we started looking at some of the disc-based games as well, looking at the PlayStation 2, and I did spot something that I did like the look of, and that was Simpsons Skateboarding. For £1.50, it was a great condition case as well. I thought I'm definitely going to give this a go and add it into the collection. We started looking at PlayStation 1 games as well, and they usually have a good selection of PlayStation 1 games here, but not always that well priced. But today they seem to have good prices. Maybe my perception has changed, or maybe they've lowered the prices, I don't know. But I managed to find quite a few games I've wanted to add to the collection for a while, like Die Hard Trilogy, and like the next couple of games that you're going to see me pick out as well, which includes Abe's Odyssey and Porsche Challenge. All of these games at a great price, and the condition of them is pretty good as well. I was really pleased to see the first copy of Porsche Challenge that I pulled out, the case was completely cracked, but they had another one right next to it, and that one was in much better condition, so I was really happy with these pickups. Overall, a fantastic day game hunting, and far better than I thought it was going to be. It was good to get back out into the wild. That was a great retro game hunt, Neo. Ah, that one. Yeah, we got some sweet stuff, didn't we? I think your little brother is very tired, but I'd say that was incredibly successful. We got loads of good stuff, didn't we?
So we got 2 Disney Infinities from CEX and then 7 from a different shop, and that makes 9.
You got 9 Disney Infinities, and I got way too many video games.
Like 30 or 50.
I tell you what though, that second shop we went into, I didn't expect them to have so many good deals. There was a lot of good stuff in there. Normally when I go in there, there's hardly anything in it, but there was loads of good stuff. Cash Converters, eh? I reckon they've not been selling stuff, have they, recently? So their stock's probably quite decent. But yeah.
So we're going to go home and clean all the things and then check them out.
Sounds like a plan, mate. Let's do it.
This is my video.
It's my video.
It's my video.
Right, let's go. We're in the new game room. What did we get? Let's start off with, there's loads of stuff here, but let's start off with some of the PlayStation games. First off, I got Porsche Challenge, and I've been looking for this for ages. I remember seeing it a long time ago in a second-hand store, but the copy of it was terrible. And ever since then, I always remember seeing this back when I first got my PlayStation and wanting to get it, but never owned it. But it looks like good condition for a PlayStation disc, but the case and everything looks really good, so I'm really happy with that. Porsche Challenge. I always love getting PlayStation games. Another game I've been looking out for ages is the Die Hard Trilogy. Now, originally I had this game on PC and I absolutely loved it, especially Die Hard 2, which was kind of like the shooting aspect of it, the light gun shooting aspect of it, but I always played that with a mouse. So this will be really, really fun to play with the light gun. And now that we've got the proper retro station behind us set up, I can't wait to get stuck into these games. But the disc for Die Hard Trilogy, again, looks, that's really good condition actually, I'm happy with that. It's the Platinum box. There was a time when I wanted to not collect Platinum, but now I just don't really care. I've got the game, and Platinum, most of the games I got when I was younger were Platinum because they were cheaper, so something cool about that. Next up is we've got Oddworld, another classic. Now, I haven't completed this, believe it or not, and with the recent release on the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5, when I saw this, I thought I've got to get Abe's Odyssey. I've got to get the original, another Platinum disc, and another good condition one as well. But really nice to have this in the collection. This is suffering a little bit of the weakened hinge that we get from PlayStation games, but other than that, it's in good condition. And another PlayStation game for the collection. Moving on to Formula 1. Now this is quite funny, right? I've got Formula 1 97, and that's my favourite PlayStation 1 Formula 1 game. But I like all the Formula 1 games, and this one was good as well, so I thought I'll pick this up. It was only about like 99 pence. Broken front, which is a shame, but you know, I'll deal with that for now. I'm sure I'll get a replacement case for it. But when I opened it up, it's got the inserts in there, it's got the manual and everything, but the disc is F1 2000, which as far as I know is the first EA F1 game. And I really, really like that. I remember playing that with my cousin a lot. So I'm not always happy. Well, I'm usually not happy to get the wrong disc in a game. I'm a bit OCD that I like to have the right discs in the right games, but I'm not too worried about this because I'm kind of glad to have the EA F1 2000 game. The other downside to this is the disc looks pretty scratched. And unfortunately, where I got the PlayStation 1 games from, to be honest, where I got all these games from, you don't often get to check out the discs first. You can return them, which is cool, but we'll stick with this one. And if nothing else, there's plenty of PlayStation 1 games in my collection now that I have for nostalgic reasons that I don't necessarily play that often or could comfortably play on an emulator, and this might just be one of them. Moving on, similar kind of boxes, but we're moving on to the Dreamcast collection now, and I finally got an NFL Blitz game for the Dreamcast. NFL Blitz I always played on the PlayStation, so I've got the PlayStation 1 versions of these games, but when I saw the Dreamcast version, I thought I've definitely got to get this. It's going to have better graphics, and a lot of people, including Gaming Off the Grid, always refer to NFL Blitz in terms of Dreamcast as well. I've noticed very few people refer to it in terms of a PlayStation game, so really glad to have this in the collection again. So the boxes on the Dreamcast were always a bit different, weren't they? Look the same as the PlayStation 1 ones, but they always have like that middle hinge. We get the manual with this, really good condition manual, and we get the disc. And currently it is the Dreamcast that's plugged in up there in the retro tower, so we'll give this a go. Disc looks really good condition as well. Really happy with this one. Little bit of a coffee stain, it looks like a water stain on the front sleeve, but with this generation of game, I'll accept that. Next game. Now, I played these games on the PlayStation 2 first. I think it was the second in the series. So I've never played this one, but Tokyo Highway Challenge. Now, I love Tokyo Highway Racer on the PS2. Great game. I never realized it was originally a Dreamcast game. So when I saw this, again, had to have it. Let's have a look at the condition. Another decent condition as well. I'm quite happy with the condition of these Dreamcast games. Did we get the manual with this one? Yes, we did. And a really nice crispy manual from the looks of that as well. So pretty good stuff. Dreamcast, I've mentioned before, I've talked with Retro Refresh crew, I've talked to other people about considering going for a full Dreamcast collection. I've hardly got any Dreamcast games. Considering going for a full Dreamcast collection. After seeing Mike and Chris from Telesplash Gaming and how their full collections go towards the end and how difficult that is, and also with my recent collection of PlayStation Vita games. I don't think I'm going to go for a full Dreamcast collection, but what I definitely want to do is I want to bulk out my Dreamcast collection. I'm really glad to get those 2 games in there. Next up, let's go for a double whammy. We've got Need for Speed The Run on the PS3 and on the 3DS. I absolutely love Need for Speed The Run. Potentially one of my favourite Need for Speed games ever. It's a short game. I completed this the first time in one night, and usually that's not a good thing, but the way this game plays, it's like you're playing a genuine movie, and all the set pieces as you're driving through America just blew me away. I love this game. So I've already got this on the 360, and to be honest, I'll get this on as many consoles as I can get. So I've got it on the PS3 as well now, a nice clean disc. And I always thought of this as a home console game, but when I saw the 3DS version, I thought, I've got to get that as well. You know me, I love my handheld gaming, and I've probably got more chance of playing this now on handheld than I do on a home console. So we'll see what it's like. 3DS with the manual in there and the cart. So all looking good. Now I don't think this has 3D effects in it. Contains 3D images? Yes, it does. Awesome. I always love it when a 3DS game actually has 3D in it. You know, who's with me that they should have never taken 3D out of 3DS games? But anyway, 3DS, we'll carry on with 3DS. We've got Resident Evil The Mercenaries 3D. Don't know much about this game, but I love my Resident Evil games, and I'm trying to go for a full collection. I'm not too far off, to be honest, but this looks fun. Like I said, I don't really know much about this game, but I do know it's got 3D in it. It's a Resident Evil game. It's a handheld game, and it comes complete. Manuals the lot, so what more could you want? Resident Evil 3D The Mercenaries. If anybody knows anything about this, let me know. Other than that, I'll be giving it a go pretty soon anyway. Next up, another 3D game, Splinter Cell 3D. Again, if you know me, I love handheld gaming, and I love stealth games. You can't beat Metal Gear Solid, but you know, old Sam Fisher comes pretty close. And I've got obviously the 3D version of Metal Gear Solid 3, and to have a 3D version of Splinter Cell is also awesome. It looks like whereas Metal Gear Solid 3 was a remake of obviously the Metal Gear Solid 3 game in 3D, this looks like a standalone unique game from what I can tell. Again, don't really know much about this. I saw it in the shop and thought, yeah, I'm going to give this a go. It looks awesome. Nice clean box. Once again, complete. But again, I don't really know much about this. One-touch stealth action gameplay. I'm expecting that this could be crap, I'll be honest. But I'm hoping that it could be fun. But either way, it's going to be nice to have this in the collection and to give it a little go. Moving out of the 3DS world, and another series I love is the Professor Layton series. One of the first games I played on the DS, and I've always loved adventure games. I love puzzle games. I love point and click adventures, and Professor Layton is a really nice continuation of that style of gameplay, and a game that I really, really enjoy, and one I think is good for the family as well. I know my wife will love these games, and I think my kids, as they get older, be able to take on the puzzles, will really enjoy them as well. So I'm trying to go for a full Professor Layton collection as well. Funnily enough, as I say it, I didn't realize how many full collections I actually am going for. Pokemon, Resident Evil, Metal Gear Solid, Professor Layton. I'm thinking about the Ace Attorney games as well, but anyway, we'll see how that goes. But anyway, this is complete again. Full manual in there. No reprinted covers from CEX for any of this. They're quite good now, CEX. They make it pretty obvious when it's a reprinted cover. I think they put like a little triangle on the corner there. So any of you UK crowd that followed that whole issue with CEX and reprinted covers know what I'm talking about. But another nice clean game to add into the handheld collection. Moving out the handheld world, I saw this. It was cheap. It looked interesting. It's an 18. You don't get many 18 games. It's called Wet. Take it as you will. I think they're trying to make it sound a little bit more sultry than it is, but it looks like, it reminded me of, is it Wanted, that movie with Angelina Jolie in it? It looks like that kind of femme fatale action kind of game. I like the style of this from the looks of it. I've never played it, but it looks really interesting, looks really cool. Again, full, complete. Let's see what the disc's like. Oh, it's by Bethesda. That's a good sign, isn't it? Discs looking, it could have seen better days, but I think that's maybe just surface grime that I could probably clean off. I probably should have cleaned these up before I did the episode, but I wanted to just go through these clean or straight away with you guys anyway. But it looks pretty badass, that. So anyone played Wet, let me know. A game that I've needed in the collection, I keep on going on like in the PS Vita collection games I'm surprised I didn't already have. Got Bioshock 2 and 3, or Bioshock 2 and Infinite. Surprised I didn't have Bioshock 1. I think I originally had this on the Xbox 360. I've not completed Bioshock 1 because I was halfway through it around about the time my 360 died and I sold all my games. So this has been one I've needed to get in the collection for ages. Unfortunately, no manual in this one. So, I mean, it shouldn't be too hard to track down a Bioshock manual. Disc looks good. But really pleased to have this in the collection. And I think I'm going to start these games from the beginning again, start from Bioshock 1. So really good to have that in there. Getting a little, well, we won't go retro just yet. Depends what you call retro. Anyway, Wii game. Other M, Metroid Other M. I've heard a lot of things about this. I think some people love it, some people don't, but it looks really good fun and a great clean version of it. Metroid is one of those franchises, one of those games I've never gotten around to playing. As crazy as you might think, I call myself a retro gamer, but there's a few big franchises I've not gotten around to playing. I did a video about that about 2 years ago on the channel, and Zelda is the one I'm focusing on for now. But I still plan to get on around to Metroid, Mega Man and Castlevania as well. I know, crazy, right? But in the meantime, I'm trying to build up the collection and I've got those games to play. I want to try and play them properly as opposed to emulators where possible. But Metroid Other M, I know it's not like part of the original classic series or whatever, but a nice looking game. I love my Wii games. Lots of fingerprints on this one, but they look like they'll come off quite easily. I'm surprised there's that many fingerprints from a CEX game. Anyway, we've got the manuals in there and everything. So another nice colour manuals on this one as well, actually. Let's take that out. Most manuals these days, if you get them, actually we are going back to colour manuals now. I think that manufacturers are realising how much we want them, but it is rare to see a nice, clean, printed, colourful manual like that. We went to black and white for a while, didn't we? That wasn't the best page to show you because there's a lot of black and white on it. There you go, that's a bit better. Other M in the collection, going a bit retro. Simpsons skateboarding. Love Simpsons Rush Hour, Simpsons Hit and Run. I think I've got the Simpsons game itself on the PS2, and another game that came to mind when I saw this was the Disney skateboarding game. That was a recommendation I got from Gaming Off the Grid, one of Robert's favourite games, and it is fantastic. I love it. If you love Disney, Pixar, any Tony Hawk's skateboarding games, you'll love the Disney skateboarding game. And when I saw this, it made me think this could be something similar. It looks fun. It's 3D on the background there. Looks like similar kind of graphics to the Hit and Run series. Nice and complete, this one. We got the disc in there, and let's see. I love these blue discs. I think these are my favourite colour discs. I like the black ones, but the blue ones are lovely, or blue or purple or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, a lot of these games and even these pickups are new to me, ones I haven't played, which is really nice. It's good to get nostalgic ones, but it's great to get new gaming experiences. I think that's the best. So I'm really looking forward to play this. I think I'll sit down with my son and play that one first. And then going a bit more retro. Thinking of retro Gamer Boy when I was picking these up, and a couple of Mega Drive games. We've got Jungle Strike, and it's the Electronic Arts little yellow thing. I don't know what that was for. Mike, if you're watching, what was this for? Why did EA have that? But we've got Jungle Strike, the sequel to Desert Strike, is that right? Yeah, sequel to Desert Strike. Love these games, top-down shooter style affairs. Games I loved as a kid but didn't get to play that much because I never owned them. I think I'd played them first on someone's computer as opposed to console. But really nice to have this in the collection and get a bit more retro in there, a few more carts. And PGA Tour Golf. It's got a little bit of writing on the top there. Don't know if you'll see that. Probably not good. I can't see if things are focused because I don't have a reverse camera, so I think it's someone's phone number. It is someone's phone number. I might call it to see what happens. PGA Tour golf. Anyway, I love my golf games, and I love retro golf games as well. The first golf game I ever played was on a PC, and I don't know what it was. I can't remember at all, but I'm sure if I look back now, I'll think, God, that was rough. But at the time, it just felt so real and amazing. And when I saw this, it made me think of that. I love Mega Drive games. I love adding more carts into my retro game collection. So to have this and to add this into the collection as well is brilliant. And anyway, so that rounds out the pickups. These were the pickups from quite a while ago now. It was the first week that lockdown opened up in the UK. So I've been sitting on these for ages, but now felt like the right time to go through them. And they'll finally go into the collection in the new game room, the new setup. If you did notice the changes in the game room, I will be doing a game room tour very soon. Very soon. There's a couple of things I want to finish off, but I'll be doing a game room tour soon. If you are interested in what the new game room looks like, I will do sneak peeks on like the live streams, Game Night Live, but also on my Instagram account, I'm doing little shots from around the room and like a bit of a slow reveal. If you like, if you're interested to see what the game room is looking like now. But it's a place that I've built from the ground up. Everything has a place and everything is in its place for a reason. We've got the little pickups corner here, we've got the retro tower over there, we've got the game wall, and we've got the modern gaming wall behind you guys right now. But anyway, if you're interested in game room stuff, like I say, check out the Instagram account to see some of the pictures, some of the slow reveal, and keep an eye out for the game room tour that will be coming soon. If you don't want to miss out on that, hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you find out when that drops. And once again, thank you for watching and see you next time.